I wanted to share my thoughts on this altercation between Aries Spears and Zoe Williams on the 5150 show. Now, the 5150 show is a show hosted by Corey Holcomb. He's not a very well known comedian, but some of you may know him from Wildin' Out. He's been on that. And he's also had some comedy specials, but he's not that famous of a comedian. I followed him for a while, so I know who he is. And I've also listened to that show, not faithfully, but I've listened to a lot of different episodes of that show, and I enjoy it. I think it's entertaining. I think that Corey Holcomb is funny, and he's one of those stand-up comedians who is brutally honest, and he doesn't have very many limitations on what he'll say. But speaking on this altercation, he had Aries Spears on his show, and Aries Spears was way out of line on this show. Now, first of all, he embarrassed himself. I think him and Zoe both embarrassed themselves. Okay, I'm leaning more towards being on the side of Zoe in this because I can kind of understand where he was coming from. But at the end of the day, both of these men embarrassed themselves. Okay, and we'll get into the reasons why. Now, for Aries, he embarrassed himself with his arguments on Obama. I mean, he was talking about because Obama is the first black president, that you are not allowed to say anything bad about him at all if you're black. You're supposed to just let this guy slide with any old fuck shit that he does. Anything that Obama has done that you disagree with and you speak out upon, you are wrong for that because he's the first black president. You're supposed to let him slide. You know, you save that for the third black president, the fourth black president, the fifth black president. It was just a stupid ass argument, man. Stupid fucking argument. And Aries Spears, I don't know too much about him personally. I never really cared for him too much. I felt that he uses the same jokes over and over again. Like this guy has been doing the same five impressions for years now, and it's just so old, and he's still doing it, and his material is just old. And the reason why I'm pointing this out is because this guy is always talking about how another comedian isn't good. I mean, listen to his interviews. He's always got shit to talk about another comedian, yet this guy has the same fucking routine from like 20 years ago, man. I mean, how many times do you want to hear LL Cool J and Jay Z and all these what else does he do? He does DMX, Snoop Dogg. It's like the same fucking routine that he does over and over and over again. Every radio interview he does, he has to do those four guys over and over, and it's just old, man. It's like if you're gonna talk shit about other people's stand up, then at least come up with new material on a regular basis. So I never really cared for him for that reason, but this right here made me not like him even more. You know, and on Zoe's side, I think that he let Aries get to him, man, and it made him look a little bit sensitive. I think that he should have at least maybe just stepped out, came back after he cooled off, or maybe catch Aries outside, press him outside about the shit that he was talking. You know, I don't think that you should have an altercation like this on a platform like that. That's supposed to be a professional setting. So that's why I feel like he kind of embarrassed himself there. And then on top of that, he missed damn near every punch that he threw. I mean, he was standing over the guy. He had every advantage in the situation, and he still missed almost every punch that he threw. And it was just kind of funny, man. It was just funny to watch that shit, man. But you know, I think that he kind of embarrassed himself with that. And then back to Aries, you know, listen, I don't feel bad for him though. I do not feel bad for him at all because he was being extra loud with the dude. He was pointing his finger in his face. He was touching him repeatedly, and just watching it, you know, I thought any moment this guy is going to punch him in the face. I already knew that he was going to get punched before I even watched it, but I didn't know exactly when it was going to happen. But I was thinking any minute the way he kept touching him, and he gave him several passes, man. And he even told him like, "Hey, man, look, man, you know, I'll fuck you up." You know what I mean? But the first person who brought up fighting, from what I remember, was Aries Spears. He was saying that he was light skinned and I'll whoop your ass and all this shit. And then once the dude threw the first punch, I mean, he went into a Joshua Clottey double high guard and just curled up right there in the seat. That's not a good look. You were talking all that damn shit. And you didn't even try to get any get back at all. You didn't try to throw one punch at all. You just curled up. And I don't know if the alcohol played a role into all of this, but I think that when you're going to do an interview around people that are not really your friends, because it's obvious that Corey Holcomb is not friends with Aries Spears, because he didn't try to have any control over the situation or anything. He even made fun of the whole thing after it all went down. So he's clearly not a friend of Aries Spears. When you're going into a setting like that, you want to be sober. Limit yourself to maybe one drink if you have to take a drink. But when you're drunk and you go into a setting like that, this could very well happen to you, man. When you're not in your right frame of mind. So I don't know. I don't know if that played a role into it, but all I'm saying is that I just think both guys embarrassed themselves. I don't think that it had to happen this way. Um, don't get me wrong. I'm all for getting at somebody who's in your face and talking shit. So that part of it is why I say I'm kind of leaning towards Zoe and being on his side in the situation, because he did try to warn him and he did give him several passes with him touching him and yelling in his face and pointing his finger and all that. He gave him several passes before he snapped. So there's that, but at the same time, like I said, you're in a professional setting. Maybe you might want to put that off, until where the cameras aren't rolling and the mics aren't on. You know what I mean? Just like Sway told Kanye, we can turn off the cameras and all these fucking mics. You know what I'm saying? Like, it should always be that, I think. So that's my opinion on everything. But you guys leave me your comments. Let me know what you think. I'm out. Deuce.